never been so proud of owning set tools like Flex. These things are friggin' awesome. Anyways, I'm here with the doctor, and here we are doing our thing. Look at this. So, it's like I suspected. When we took up these boards, they were so saturated. These are composite boards. They're not supposed to soak up water, and somehow they did. You can still kind of see a little bit of dampness. Like, this thing's swollen an extra 3/8 of an inch. This is like the very first composite, right? Lasts forever, but looks like shit later, so you're gonna have to change it anyways. So, here we are. We're gonna rip all this stuff up. We have the inspector here, doctor. Hey doctor, how you doing? Good job, thank you. Keep up the good work. And now the doctor has his surgery tools right here. And I can't stress enough, these things are friggin' amazing. Like, the best. I'm not endorsed by this company, but literally, like, I had to grab some of these things. So one of the customers helped get me basically the drywall screw gun stuff, because I was working on this job using that. And the way this all came about was I basically had my router stolen, and I used Makita stuff. I use a lot of Makita stuff. And I had these batteries, and I already have the tools. And to go and buy the router, they only sell you the tool without the battery. So if you were to buy the whole set, it would cost you like $300 at least to get a battery and a charger and the router. So the bare tool I think was like $180, $190, like basically $200, right? So the way this story starts with Flex is basically, I guess it was the first year. They had a stand set up, and they're like, "Hey, do you want to try our tools?" And I was like, "No, because I hate gimmicks. I don't like gimmicks, right? Don't like gimmicks." And so their buddy's like, "Come on, just try it. Just try it. You gotta try it." I'm like, "What would make this any better than any other tool?" Like, I already had Makita. I had tried DeWalt before. I didn't like him, but it was the early generation DeWalt. The newer stuff's better. Makita and Milwaukee. Milwaukee let me down. Technically, DeWalt did too, because of their crappy batteries in the beginning. But, you know, everyone's got to start somewhere, right? And this is like around the time when cordless tools just started coming out. So I got in the first gen, and it was kind of like, man, I lost all this money on this crappy tools. And one thing I can't stand is having something that doesn't perform the way it's supposed to. Now, fast forward to how I ended up with Flex. Basically, I was at Lowe's, and they're the only store that sells this stuff. And they had a thing set up and had like boards to drill through, you know, just like how Milwaukee has that stuff happen, right? And basically, he's like, "Go ahead, try it." I'm like, "I'm not going to drill through this 2x12 through an inch and a half. That's not proving anything, right?" Like, look at how tiny. Here, I'm just going here. Look at how tiny 2x8 is, right? I'll put my Flex tool there for perspective, from bottom to top, right? That's an 8-inch board. So what I did was I took just a regular drill. I don't even think it was this. It was a regular, you know, chuck drill that you crank down, which is good for a lot of other uses. Everything has a use. And I drilled right through the board, literally, right through it, within seconds. Just like went through, and I was like, "Whoa!" It actually had caught my attention. I was like, man, not only is this light and compact, it's it's got the power that I want when I'm using my tools. Like I have Makita because they're cute. They're literally like toys, really, but they're good enough to kind of get the job done. Now, but you want something that can get the job done, and I can't say enough good shit about this. Like everything, they thought of everything on this. Like there's one flaw. It's right here. See how there's a belt hook? Well, they give you an attachment that can hold your bits. And they had the same thing on the drywall gun, but you were able to put it on both sides. Like you were able to put this here and then your bit holding attachment on the other side. I'm like, why? Why would you send somebody something in a kit and then not be able to use all the pieces? You have to opt whether I want to take this off and put the bit attachment on, but on the drywall gun it has it on both sides. So that's the only flaw that I found with this drill. Not to mention it's smaller than the Makita, even though it's like bigger this way. It's smaller this way, more power, like just kills it. And so after I had tried it, I was like, yeah, I'm not in the market to go spending money on extra tools, right? And so during that time, a lot of things passed by, and one of the things was that I had a lot of my Makita stuff break down, right? Like I had bought a set, comes with a impact driver and a regular drill, and they were both brushless because this is when brushless is coming out so good, right? And I spent I think it was like $500 for the kit with the charger and 2 batteries. So it was like kind of thinking I'm getting a good deal, right? And then I had left that chuck drill in there for years, never used it because I mostly use the impact, right? It's quick, it's easy, it's fast. And then one day I'm like, oh, I need to drill. So I had to drill holes on a 5-inch hole, right? Now, when you get your tools, there's no specifications on there to tell you how you can use it and how you can't. So I end up drilling this 5-inch hole for this vent, and I burned out the drill. I'm like, this thing's brand new. In the past, Makita's warranty is pretty good. They fixed my stuff because they're like, well, you obviously haven't used this, right? So I go and I take it in, and this happened to a couple other tools too. And just regular wear and tear, and it breaks down. And I take it in, and then weeks go by, they come back and they're like, hey, it's gonna cost you so much. I'm like, man, that tool's brand new. You should be honoring the warranty on it. It was a year past or something. I never used the freaking thing. They're like, sorry, sir, there's nothing we can do. Which is words I cannot stand. I cannot stand because there's always something that can be done. You either have a shit job or you have a good job, right? Why do it wrong? Right? Why would you put decking down drill holes through the surface too? For what? I don't know. Do it right the first time, right? That's just common knowledge, I would assume, right? But we should never assume anything. And they tell me there's nothing they can do. And they already said this a couple times on some other stuff that I had, which I was like, all right, I guess they can let it slide on that one. But the brand new drill, they weren't honoring their product. They weren't like, hey, I'll take care of you. You're a customer. You have 10 batteries, right? And a few tools. And I like the lightness. It's a good tool for the average homeowner, but for a contractor, I wouldn't recommend Makita, and I wouldn't recommend any of the other brands. But this, Jesus. Once I started using the tools, I went out and I was like, I'm switching everything, right? But I do it as I need them, right? I did a stucco job where I needed a grinder, and I have a corded grinder, and I have to go around the house and grind everything. I was like, I don't want to drag a cord around, So I went and got the grinder, but I got this first. No, I got the drywall kit first. So going back to that story, my ADD's gone off here. going back to the how I ended up with Flex, was I ended up getting the drywall kit, right? So it came with a screw gun. It came with a router, right? Because when I was at the store, I'm humming and hawing. I'm like, should I get the Makita? Because all I need is the bare tool. I already have the drywall gun. I already have the strip attachment, which cost me $100, right? I already have the brushless drywall gun, so I should have no issues getting my jobs done with that. But it's like, meh, you're using it, you're like, meh, right? It's like, it's there, it's not there, it's whatever, right? It's good, but it's not bad. It's, I want excellent when I buy something, right? So I'm looking at the Flex stuff, and they had a sale where you could get the drywall gun and the router for $329. So I was like, you know what? What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna buy this, use it for this job. If it sucks, I'm returning it, right? And it took me about like 2 days to figure this out. And I was like, fuck it, just get the tool. Just get it, right? So I go and I get the tool and I started using it. And I'm like, wow, this thing's actually pretty amazing. I paid $329. And so I got the drywall done. I got the strip attachment, so you put your strips in, you can just zing, 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 zing. You don't have to like one hand, right? You just like, because I want production. I want to get in and out of that job, make as much money as I can, and leave. Do the best job I can, and leave, right? So in order to do the best job, you need to have the best tools. And so I get kit, $329. I'm like, an extra $100, and I basically have a tool that comes with everything that I need. $329. Drywall gun, brushless, strip attachment, extra $100 from Kita. 2 pancake batteries, a fast charger, and a router. And $329, really? All right, literally, the drywall router cutout tool costs $190. I'm like, so for an extra $100, $120, I could have a brand new tool, and I get to test it. And I tested that thing, and I was impressed. I was like, wow, did we get value here? We're getting value, and we're getting a good product. We're getting something that works good, something that's light, it's efficient, it's made ergonomically correct for contractors to use it properly. And the durability, you can just feel it in the tool. Like you can tell that this thing is not going to let you down. And so it started the fire. And once that fire was lit, I was like, yeah, I can sell my old tools to kind of pay for the new tools. And now I end up with batteries, right? Because there's a little deal going on now where if you buy the kit, you get an extra battery. So I ended up, my second purchase was this. So I ended up getting another pancake battery and a 5 amp battery. So now I got like 3 pancake batteries, which is good for my drywall kit, because I kind of only use those for that, or lighter tools where you don't really need to like have that power all day long, like you would need this, right? But even this, it's not that heavy, it's pretty good. I get the tool, and I'm loving this. I'm loving the drywall stuff. I'm like, man, I wonder what the saw's like. I wonder what like the grinder's like. And so then I got the grinder next. And when I got that grinder, and I used it all day. I think I might have used the battery like 3-4 times. Like I had to charge it, but like I was grinding all day, like heavy grinding with a masonry bit, diamond cutting concrete and stuff like that. And it has the power. It's compact. I know people are like, oh, but it's only 24 volts. That's all you need. You don't need anything else because everything's just so there. Like I like when you got your like Makita stuff and the rubber starts falling off and that, like you just feel like this tool is not going to do that. It's not going to let you down. Not to mention, if you register your tool within 30 days of getting it, you get a lifetime warranty on the tool. And I'm like, it's a no-brainer.
I can literally sell my Makita gun for like maybe 200 bucks, 180, right? Just the gun. Sell the attachment 50 bucks, right? So we're now at 250. I basically sell my stuff off and I end up getting this stuff for free. And all the other free perks that are coming with it because they're just loading us up on all this like good flex stuff. And the value you're getting is unsurpassed. There's no one in the business doing this right now. And I think competition is frightened because everything is just like perfect. Like aside, I can complain about that. That's all I can complain about. Power is there, longevity's there, digital like display. I've got to cover up the light so it doesn't blind you. This digital like, oh, I need to change it. Different speeds, whatever. It's all there. Everything's there. And so I got the grinder. I love the grinder. I love this. Love the drywall tool. And then I'm like, a framer with no saw is not a framer. So then I went out and I bought the saw. And once I got that saw, I was like, I gotta have all of it. I need to. Because now I don't have all these pieces to like little this, little that. They have everything I need. They may lack on some things, like they just started, so they didn't launch like a million tools like Milwaukee, right? But the ones that they did launch are great for contractors. So, without further ado, I know I talked a lot during this one, but I'm going to demonstrate how these flex tools work, and you guys are going to get to see the power. I'll even bring up the Makita just so you can tell. I know it's not fair for the Makita because we're using a 24 volt against an 18 volt, but if your stuff was that good, then you would have stepped up your game, right? You wouldn't need to step up your game. So, without further ado, here we go. All right, get up on here. We're gonna have to use some ingenuity to basically. Yeah, I'm gonna start another video.